Hi PB Kids! Today we are talking about elders and the importance of taking care of and learning from them. Elder is a fancy word for anyone who has more experience on earth than you do. We all have elders in our lives. The Bible makes it clear that we should take care of those who have come before us, but also it's important that we take the time to learn as much as we can from these people. They have been through a lot more than we have, and when we take the time to learn, listen, and take care of them, we not only learn how to serve others and God better, but we also become wiser and more knowledgeable about the world. We have so many people in our own congregation who can teach us how to take great care of our elders. This week, I spoke to my friend, Miss Janice, who is really good at taking care of others. I asked her some questions and she had some answers. Let's take a look. Who was an adult you learned a lot from growing up? What was the most memorable lesson they taught you?
The person that I chose was my mother. She influenced me in many ways, very positively. She was, one of her best pieces of advice was always to be kind. And she demonstrated that in her life, mostly through a life of service. And so I've tried to carry that out. Also to have respect for other people and to have patience. She used to always say patience is a virtue. And I find daily that I use that saying, and I also have raised my family that way.
How do you learn from or serve the elders in your life?
I have a love for elderly people. And elders don't necessarily have to be old people, but from the time I was a little girl, I used to clean house for the older people in my neighborhood. I used to shop for an elderly woman that I looked at too as a second grandma. She was not allowed to eat salt, but she used to send me to McDonald's to go get her Big Macs. I always felt guilty, but she always needed me to do that for her. So, but the elderly have so much wisdom. Their life's experiences are so worth sitting down to listen to and pay attention to and learn from. And I value that. I'm glad that has been a part of my life growing up. They do have a lot to impart to us about life.
If you could pass on any advice or wisdom to the younger generation, what would it be?
I think what my mom told me about having patience is very important in your life. And I say that because if you look at most problems that you have, if you just wait long enough to think them through, seek advice, think it through again, you'll find probably coming up with the best solution for your problem. And the other thing is, and I like to say this in relation to the older people in your life who do have a story to tell, listen to their stories, listen to their lives, listen to their wisdom, because you'll probably find yourself one day saying, oh, I remember when my mom told me that, or I remember learning this from Mrs. Wiggins, and it's come in handy, and it's a good guide for me in my life. So have some respect for your elders and what they've lived through and what they have to offer you. And lastly, show them who you are, because you're the future, and they may not live out to see your future, but it's nice and reassuring for older people to know that what comes after them will carry a bit of what they carried and part of their history in their lives too. So as much as you get to know them and respect and love them, show them who you are and give them a little comfort as to what's going to come after they're not here anymore.
Thank you, Miss Janice. PB Kids, let's remember to stop and take care of those around us this week. There's so much to learn and so much joy to be had. Who are you going to take care of and learn from? We have announcements. We have our PB Kids Craft Day today outside on the patio immediately following the service. All ages are welcome. See you there. September 12th, we have worship in the park at 10:30 and a picnic after. Bring the whole family. On September 19th, we have a PB Kids Baking Day right after the service on the patio. RSVP to save a spot. All ages are welcome. And lastly, we have another PB Kids Crafting Day on September 26th. Email Debbie to RSVP. Remember, you are special and loved just the way you are by God. Have a great week.